we're now walking into this wonderful landscape as you leave the Collector Earl's garden and the walled gardens. We're now in this beautiful part of the landscape where we planted some new apple trees 2 years ago, and we planted thousands of these wonderful Camasias in amongst the pheasant eye narcissus or daffodils, and we've got cowslips out, the beautiful yellow cowslips. But look at this blossom, isn't it beautiful? And then all the Camasias, the bees absolutely love it. They're having a field day, to put a funny pun on it. And I think this is a wonderful part of the garden, and it just continues. It's called the American Grounds, and it just continues right the way through. We have lots of stunning features throughout here, including probably one of my favorite trees. We've got a ginkgo biloba, and then we also have the most amazing tree, and one of the biggest trees, which is the cork oak. So here's a cork oak. I mean, look at this, isn't it stunning? Now, you won't see another cork oak this size, I believe, in the country. On top of that, I've been to Portugal and Spain, where they harvest the cork. It's called Quercus suber, but they harvest the cork in other countries, and the trees never seem to get to this size, probably because they're constantly harvesting the cork, so they never get a chance to grow to their full beauty, really. So this is a cork oak. What an amazing, beautiful tree. And it's so suited to this area. I believe probably at least 180 to 200 years old. A few other trees which were planted in more recent years. We've got a Liriodendron tulipifera, which is known as the tulip tree. This one hasn't yet flowered, but normally after about 20 years, 18 to 20 years, they get their first flowers. Beautiful flowers, but you have to really look out for them. So my team and myself, as well as the English garden school, come here to do practical sessions, but we planted over 8,000 Camasias. So it's a wonderful sight to suddenly see all these Camasias here, and they naturalize so well and just fit in with the landscape. So actually the variegated leaf Camasia here is actually a white one which will flower later, where we've got the blue Camasias are flowering already. And then of course we've got this amazing backdrop of the castle. It's lovely to have all these flowers in the foreground and the castle in the background. And this is a section I did as a practical training session with the English gardening school. Is we put in white triumphata tulips intermingled with the Camasias, both blue and white, and you can see what a lovely effect it has. And as I say, we've put in over 80,000 tulips, new tulips this last November, as well as all these Camasias, and I think there's such a highlight in it. They've transformed the landscape here into something beautiful. We're now in the lovely White Garden in the Fitzalan Chapel, which is actually the burial place of the Dukes of Norfolk. So it's nice to have this beautiful tranquil garden outside the Fitzalan, and again we have these lovely white triumphata tulips, and underneath we planted ivory white wallflowers which start yellow but will change into being white. And then we have Francoise, which is a beautiful upright tulip but quite late flowering, and then we've just got Mondale and Daytona, which are peony double flowered tulips which are just going over, and Maracantha the Bride, which is across the walls there, that shrub, and that's just about to burst into flower. And then later on again we have amazing roses throughout here, which we'll probably talk about more later on, but Tranquility, William and Catherine, Iceberg. It's a stunning garden, and from this time on it just gets better and better in here. It's a beautiful, tranquil garden. Walking along here, we've got this wonderful cloud hedging. This was a collapsed hedge about 4 years ago, and we just cut right into it and created this beautiful cloud hedge. And then on my right here, we've naturalized this area. We've got cow parsley, and we've got the wonderful alliums, and these are purple rain alliums coming through. But we also have Mont Blanc and Mount Everest, which will come later on. Right, this is a wonderful area, and we're calling it the Woodland Gardens. So on my right, we've got these beautiful Camassias again, and then we've got purple dream tulips, which really fit in well, because the trees over there are Prunus surulata, and the trees there have the most beautiful bark. So the blues, the purples, and then even this yellow celandine, which most people actually think is a weed, but in this part of the garden it's just perfect. It fits in so well. But and then on our left here we've created a new garden, and this was really exciting. We had some box hedging, which was really had a huge amount of disease in it. It was terrible. So it was box blight. So rather than letting it spread elsewhere on our site, we took it out and got stumps from the estate. The foresters got all these wonderful stumps for me, and then what we've done is planted it up with hellebores, pulmonarias, foxgloves, tongue ferns. You know, it's a stunning part of the garden. Even ursium, which is wild garlic, and bluebells. So this area is just going to be a very tranquil, natural area, and the two areas on the left reflect the right really nicely. And then you can use these seats, which were made out of a tree which fell down in the storm 3 months ago, to look up at the wonderful castle. And these seats were made out of Quercus ilex, known as the holm oak. And it's all natural wood, so rather than wasting the wood, we've created wonderful benches. It's just lovely walking up here and seeing some of these amazing trees. This is Aesculus hippocastaneum, which is a lovely big name, but it's the horse chestnut. I mean, what a stunning tree. And of course, one of our favourite pastimes is conkers. So this is a tree, and these are the flowers which produce those conkers that you can play with. So horse chestnut, Aesculus, hippo being in Latin horse, chestnut. So it's always interesting with the Latin names, but they're majestic, these trees, with this absolutely majestic castle in the background.